Hi, my name is Katie Holt, and my speech is about motorcycle safety in America. As Jake opened his eyes for the first time since his 160-day coma, he did not know where he was or why he was in the hospital bed with wires attached to his body. He woke up to family, friends, nurses, and strangers crying and cheering for his awakening. Yet Jake lay there mute, unable to open his mouth to speak. He eventually passed away. Jake made the careless decision to not wear a helmet on the day of his accident, which eventually ended his 30-year life an hour after waking up from his coma. Accidents can happen to anyone, innocent or guilty. What I want you to understand is that if a crash occurs, not only does the choice to not wear a helmet affect the motorcyclist himself, it affects his family, friends, and other motorists involved in the accident. Deaths caused by motorcycle-related accidents are more common than you would think. In Global Road Partnership book, Why Are Helmets Needed? It states, road traffic injuries are a major public health problem and a leading cause of death and injury around the world. People tend to ignore how dangerous driving can be if you do not use your safety equipment that you have to protect yourself. According to Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report, MMWR, a Center for Disease Control and Prevention stated, in 2010, the 4,502 motorcyclists, operators, and passengers killed in motorcycle crashes up to 14% of all road traffic deaths. Yet motorcyclists accounted for less than 1% of all vehicles miles traveled. The findings indicated that, on average, 12% of fatally injured motorcyclists were not wearing helmets in states with universal helmet laws, compared to the 64% in partial helmet law states, laws that only required specific groups, usually young riders, to wear helmets, and 79% in states without a helmet law. This is an unfathomable statistic. The problem is that motorcyclists who do not regularly wear helmets while driving their motorcycles are more susceptible to injury or death. 79% of motorcyclists that drive in states that do not have helmet laws, such as Illinois, Iowa, and New Hampshire, die in accidents due to the lack of wearing a helmet. In the 28 states that have the partial helmet law, 64% of motorcyclists choose to not wear helmets and die in accidents because of it. Only 12% of motorcyclists that do not wear helmets in the 18 states that require helmet use to operate a motorcycle die. I can go to quote statistics all day long. Bottom line is that the statistics support helmet use while riding a motorcycle. People have suffered through many painful times due to the loss of their loved ones being killed in a crash by not protecting themselves by wearing their helmet. Unfortunately, ignorance is bliss, and people choose to ignore the statistics and let the decision of helmet use be up to the driver. If you look at the data over the past 6 years, the majority of motorcyclists who choose to not wear helmets die in accidents. History has a tendency of repeating itself. If we want to stop the extreme death percentages from increasing, wearing a helmet should be mandatory in all 50 states, no exception. The issue is that there needs to be more support from the government, law enforcement, and the public to obey and abide by the rules. In the book Countermeasures That Work, a highway safety countermeasure guide for state highway safety offices, written by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, NHTSA, the topic of helmet use is addressed. NHTSA explained, helmet use continuously has been shown to reduce most motorcycle crash-related injuries and deaths, and the most effective strategy to increase helmet use is enactment of universal helmet laws. Statistics show that there are fewer deaths among motorcycles-related accidents when the driver of the motorcycle is wearing a helmet. NHTSA talked more about the importance of enacting laws and enforcing them. Although we need the help and encouragement from our government and law enforcement, citizens need to do our part as well. If parents inform their kids from a young age, future generations will continue to understand the importance of wearing helmets. In an online article written by helmet advocacy programs called Tips on Getting Kids to Wear Bike Helmets, discusses ways to help encourage your children to wear helmets. The number one tip is establish the helmet habit early when your children get their first bikes. If they learn to wear helmets whenever they ride it, will become a habit for a lifetime. Imprinting into children's minds that wearing a helmet anytime they ride a bike is important, because when they become adults and have children of their own, they will imprint the same lesson. Now, I understand that my argument against helmet use is evidently the biker's decision, and if he wants to put himself in a position to get hurt by not wearing one, then it is his decision to do so. But if we do not implement this solution, everybody loses. The Executive Director, Louisiana Highway Safety Commission, retired Lieutenant James Champagne, explained in his safety guide who exactly pays for the deaths of the motorcyclists. Lieutenant Champagne explained, "Everyone pays when a motorcycle rider is severely injured. You can talk about freedom of choice, but when other people have to pay for the consequences of that choice, then it is not freedom of choice at all. The community loses their expenses of medical care, social costs of losing a productive member of society, potential costs of having to support their children and family, and the cost of emergency medical and safety officers. However, I hope that I have enlightened you enough to change your mind and support my solution and ideas of how to make the world a safer place. Grasp how important wearing helmets are. Sign petitions. Spread the word. And if you know anyone who does not use helmets, encourage them to do so. Make a difference in your community and continue to spread the word of safety." Thank you.